New documents shed light on how the state's vaccine mandate came together behind the scenes, but those same documents tell us very little about the state's legal arguments for limiting those who can claim a religious exemption.
They have a duty, as we all do, to protect our fellow citizens from this virus.
The vaccine mandate Governor Inslee announced on August 9th looked a lot different than originally planned. According to emails obtained through public disclosure, as late as August 4th, the governor's office planned to offer state workers an alternative to the vaccine. They could instead submit to weekly COVID testing. The governor's senior policy advisor on labor writing, "State government will start with a testing strategy option, and the governor will announce an October 1st review with the potential to shift to a full mandate at that time." It's something many state workers told us they would have been fine with.
I would be willing to do that to keep my job. I love my job, I love my kids, but I'm not yet willing to get the vaccination.
But it's an idea the governor rejected just days after his office seemed set on it.
Because we are past the point of thinking we can test our way to safety here.
Although it's worth mentioning that Senior Assistant Attorney General Eric Sanju wrote in an August 6th email that it seemed the governor's mandate for state workers was less about stopping the spread of the virus than about optics, writing, "For executive cabinet agency employees, the purpose really is to get vaccine numbers up and having the state lead by example." Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the governor's staff also debated how to work in vaccine exemptions. The governor's general counsel writing, "Medical for sure and religious if we have to. If yes, as narrow as possible." But beyond that, emails about the religious exemption and its legality were deemed attorney-client privileged. Exchanges between the governor's staff and the attorney general's office on that issue were highly, if not entirely, redacted. But late Tuesday, we got our hands on these, sent by two state workers with two different agencies, the State Department of Transportation and the Department of Social and Health Services. Both were nearly identical forms for seeking a religious exemption, and both directed employees to answer two yes or no questions. The first, you assert that you have a sincerely held religious belief or religious conviction that prevents you from receiving the COVID vaccine. And the second question, you affirm that you have never received a vaccine or medicine from a healthcare provider as an adult. Asked to elaborate on the rationale for the second question, the governor's press secretary told us in a statement, "The purpose of this question is to understand whether there was a history of declining medical treatment or vaccination based on an applicant's religious belief. If they answer no, the HR professionals would engage in follow-up questions to better understand the person's history, such as demonstrating changes that they have made as an adult based on those beliefs. We understand people's religious views may change over time." Now, state workers who try to file for a vaccine exemption and are denied are running out of time to get the shot. It can take as much as 6 weeks from the first dose to when you're considered fully vaccinated, putting those who don't get it soon dangerously close to the October 18th deadline.